In the summer of 1863, one man stood on a cliff overlooking a river. Behind him, a battered army. Before him, a city that had been under siege for 47 days. Its people were hiding underground, trapped in caves beneath the earth. No food, no hope. This man did not yet know that within a few days, he would change the fate of an entire war. But this was only one moment in a much larger story. A story about a river stretching more than 3,700 kilometers across a continent. Born as a quiet stream in a small northern lake, and growing into a giant force that carries everything in its path toward the ocean. Its name? The Mississippi, the river that shaped America. This is not just the story of a river. This is the story of how water itself decided who would control an entire continent. Before there was an America, before a single flag was planted on any map, there was a river. And there was a city. Its name was Cahokia. At its height, it was larger than London. Tens of thousands of people lived here, on the banks of this very river. Why here? Because every flood left behind a fresh layer of rich, black silt, soil fertile enough to feed an empire. But Cahokia was only the beginning. Entire nations, the Choctaw, the Chickasaw, the Natchez, wove an intricate trading network along this river, stretching for hundreds of kilometers. Seashells arrived from the Gulf. Copper traveled from the distant Great Lakes. Everything flowed through this single watery artery. And here, history revealed its first great lesson. A lesson that would be repeated for centuries to come, with greater bloodshed, greater ambition, and greater empires. Whoever controls the river controls the continent. And very soon, powers from across the ocean would arrive, only to learn that lesson for themselves. (1682). A French explorer stands at the mouth of a great river, where its waters meet the Gulf of Mexico. His name is René Robert Cavelier, Sieur de la Salle. With only a few words, he claims, in the name of the King of France, every land drained by this river.
Au nom du roi, je prends possession de cette terre et de tous les territoires adjacents.
A territory so vast, it covered nearly 1/3 of what is now the United States. The French had barely explored most of it, but that hardly mattered. They named it Louisiana. France, however, was not alone in the race. Spain controlled the most important city at the river's mouth, New Orleans, and Britain was steadily pushing westward from the Atlantic coast. Then, on the eastern seaboard, an entirely new nation was born, the United States of America. Farmers in Kentucky, Tennessee, and Ohio soon discovered a harsh reality. Their crops were nearly worthless unless they could reach distant markets. And there was only one practical route: down the Mississippi, through New Orleans, a city they did not own. A port that another nation could close at any moment. One American president knew this situation could never last. Paris, 1803. Two American diplomats enter a French palace with one simple mission: buy a single city. New Orleans, nothing more. But what they are about to hear will change the course of history. Napoleon Bonaparte, Emperor of France, desperately needs money to finance his wars. And after losing control of France's Caribbean colony in Haiti, he no longer sees Louisiana as worth keeping. So instead of selling one city, France offers to sell the entire territory. The price? $15 million, less than 4 cents an acre. With a single signature, the United States doubles in size. Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska, and millions of acres that would one day become the heartland of a global superpower. But the greatest prize was never the land itself. It was the river. From its northern headwaters to its southern mouth, the entire Mississippi now belonged to the United States. The deal was complete, but its greatest test was still to come. The 1820s. A new invention transforms America: the steamboat. Suddenly, the river is no longer a one-way highway. Boats can travel upstream and downstream faster than ever before. Entire cities explode into existence. St. Louis, Memphis, and New Orleans becomes one of the richest ports on Earth. But behind this prosperity lay a terrible cost. The Southern economy depended on cotton. Cotton depended on slavery. The Mississippi itself became a highway for the slave trade. Thousands of enslaved men, women, and children were transported along its waters toward plantations that seemed to stretch forever. Yet within that darkness, the river also offered hope. Its hidden channels and winding waterways became escape routes for some seeking freedom. The river that enriched a nation also witnessed some of its deepest wounds. And that contradiction between wealth and suffering, between unity and division, was about to erupt. 1861. America splits in two. North against South. Union against Confederacy. President Abraham Lincoln understands one simple, deadly truth. Whoever controls the Mississippi can split the Confederacy in half. An entire military strategy is built around a single objective: take control of the river. One city stands in the way, heavily fortified, high above the river, nearly impossible to capture. Its name? Vicksburg. General Ulysses S. Grant surrounds the city for 47 days. Families dig caves into the hillsides to escape relentless shelling. Hunger spreads. Supplies disappear. There is no escape. July 4th, 1863. Vicksburg falls. Just one day after another decisive Union victory at Gettysburg. President Lincoln writes words that history will never forget. The Father of Waters again goes unvexed to the sea. The Confederacy is effectively cut in two. And the turning point of the Civil War is decided on the banks of a single river. But the war ends. The river does not. The river that built a nation is about to remind America that no one truly controls it. 1927. The Great Mississippi Flood. Thousands of square miles disappear beneath the water. Hundreds of thousands lose their homes, almost overnight. The American government responds by constructing one of the largest flood control systems on Earth. An ambitious attempt to tame a giant that can never be fully tamed. And today, the river still lives. More than 90 million tons of agricultural products travel along its waters every year. A farmer in Iowa today still depends on the very same river that worried Thomas Jefferson more than 2 centuries ago. But new challenges are emerging. Stronger floods, longer droughts, a changing climate. The river that helped shape America is changing before our eyes. Its story is far from over. From a forgotten village beside a river, to a purchase that doubled a nation, to a city that determined the outcome of a war. The Mississippi River was never just a blue line on a map. It was a silent maker of history. It gave no speeches. It signed no treaties. Yet generation after generation, it shaped the destiny of everyone who dared to live beside it. The next time you hear the name Mississippi, remember this: you are not looking at a river. You are watching America itself flow before your eyes. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like the video, share it with someone who loves great stories, and subscribe for more documentaries exploring how geography has shaped the fate of civilizations around the world. And let me know in the comments, what river or geographical landmark do you think changed the history of your country? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next documentary.